The lifestyles of the rich and famous revolve around one of these three men. Number one, what is your name, please?
My name is Svend Petersen.
Number two.
My name is Svend Petersen.
Number three.
My name is Svend Petersen.
Only one of these people is the real Svend Petersen, and is the only one sworn to tell the truth. Now let's meet our panel. Co-star of Murder, She Wrote, Ron Masak. Anchorwoman of WWOR-TV in New York, Jennifer Barabi. Film and television producer David Niven Jr. And to tell the truth's very own, Kitty Carlisle. Here's the host of To Tell the Truth, Lynn Swan.
Wonderful. Good morning. Well, what are you two over there just yakking about?
Oh, we're just having a wonderful time.
We're just sitting down here waiting for you two. Are you going to share it with us, or?
Later.
No,
later.
It's a secret. Okay. Well, if you're not going to share it, we might as well get right to the first story presented by our team of challengers, all three of whom claim to be Svend Petersen. Here is the story. Read along with me. I, Svend Petersen, am the poolside prince of the world-famous Beverly Hills Hotel. For 30 years, my job has been to satisfy every whim at poolside of our celebrated guests, including Mark Goodson, creator of To Tell the Truth. Some of our rich and famous guests include Princess Grace, Elizabeth Taylor, Katharine Hepburn, who did backflips fully clothed off the diving board, Faye Dunaway, who I taught to swim, the Beatles, who sat around the pool in disguise, and one of my favorites, Johnny Carson. But like a ship's captain, I run a tight pool. It's important to remember names, all manners of preferences, and quirks, but most important, to keep a secret. A typical day's troubles might range from starlets in saran wrap bikinis to catering to the family of the Sultan of Brunei. But I can't complain. I spend every day in the lap of luxury, and that's not bad for someone who came to Los Angeles with $7 in his pocket. Signed, Svend Petersen. We'll find out more about this pool man to the stars right after this. Here we go, panel. All three of these men claim to be Svend Petersen, pool man to the stars. Kitty, we'll start questioning with you.
Thank you. Number two, who was the nicest star that you ever had to do with?
Well, I think we have so many of them out
You're
there.
going to be tactful.
There's not...
Number three, who was the best swimmer?
Raquel Welch.
Ah, yeah, that stands to reason.
And good to watch, too.
And number one, who wore the saran wrap and what happened to the bikini?
Well, we had at one time a hooker and her daughter. A hooker stayed at the hotel, snuck in the hotel, and she wore a see-through bikini.
I see. Number two, what time do you get to work?
It's 7 o'clock in the morning.
And number three?
That's it for you now, Kitty. David.
Thank you. Number one, what is the strangest whim that you've had to cater to?
Well, someone wanted some makeup. I had to go for...
Makeup. Yeah. Not very exciting, but okay, moving right along. Number two, let me go to the saran wrap thing. Would you explain to me the saran wrap bathing suit saga?
Well, we have some ladies that wear see-through bathing suits, and it is not allowed in this state of
But
California.
then saran wrap is also see-through, isn't it?
It's both, yes.
Okay. Number three, what does the Sultan of Brunei's family want you to do for them?
He owns the hotel, so whatever he wants.
Very well stated. Jennifer.
Number one, I'm sure you get a lot of people trying to hang out at the Beverly Hills Hotel who maybe aren't guests there or don't belong. What do you do when you have someone there who isn't supposed to be?
Well, if they don't live there, I have to show them off.
Number two, does that happen a lot?
Yes, it does.
Number 3, Katharine Hepburn did backflips into the pool fully clothed. Can you tell me what the circumstances of that were?
Well, it was when there was a diving board there. We used to have a 3-meter board, and she came off the tennis court and did a backflip right into the pool.
Number 2, I imagine a lot of people ask you a lot of questions about all these celebrities that you're in contact with every day. What do you tell them? Do you spill the beans or?
No, we're not allowed to tell secrets.
Ron.
Tell me a little bit about Mark Goodson, number 3. Is he a good tipper?
Pretty good.
Good, just pretty good. Number 2, it says one of your favorites is Johnny Carson. Now, Johnny Carson lives in California. Why would he go to the Beverly Hills Hotel?
Well, it was way back in 1962 that I saw Mr. Carson. Yes.
What famous street is the Beverly Hills Hotel on, number 1?
Sunset Boulevard.
And number 2, what is a famous restaurant that's in the Beverly Hills Hotel?
The Polo Lounge.
And number 3...
Ah, there's that bell, which means, panel, your time is up, and time for you to vote for either number 1, number 2, or number 3. Our team of challengers will receive $500 for each incorrect vote with a guarantee of $1,000, and if they fool the panel completely, they'll get $3,000. So, Kitty, do you know who it is?
I have to disqualify myself because Svend Petersen has taken care of me many times, many early mornings in the swim, and we've had a lot of conversations together, and he's a terrific pool man. He really is wonderful. I couldn't praise him more highly. He's terrific. So I have to disqualify myself.
All right. David?
Well, Kitty and I always tend to agree, and I also have to disqualify myself because I'm the one who lent him the saran wrap. So...
My goodness. That's amazing. David. Jennifer.
Well, I really hate to do this, but I too have had the pleasure of spending a little bit of time around the Beverly Hills pool, so I also have to disqualify myself.
My goodness.
And it's a wonderful place.
Am I the only person who's never stayed
Wait a minute, Lynn,
at
you're
the
talking
Beverly
to
Hills Hotel?
No, you're talking to a street kid from Chicago.
Ron,
I'm
it's
sorry,
on your
Svend, I'm the
shoulders.
only one that doesn't know you. I mean, I feel like a damn fool now. But I'll tell you why I went for number 2. I went for number 2 simply because he knew the name of the Polo Lounge, and he just seemed like a very quiet man. And number 3, Mark Goodson's a big tipper.
Well, I should tell everyone, when our panel has to disqualify themselves, it counts as a wrong vote for the team of challengers. So right now you're looking at 3 wrong votes. Well, let's recap. Number 2, you have a vote. That's the shortest recap I've ever done. Now it's time to find out who the real poolside prince is. Will the real Svend Petersen please stand up? One shot and 4, and you're the only man stopping the panel from having been completely skunked on this one.
Well, I'm sorry.
I've got to ask you this question. You've been by that pool. Did you ever happen to save a life in all this time? I mean, anybody ever get in trouble?
No, babies usually get trouble because they crawl. We used to have a sandbox way down the other end, and they usually, the mothers leave the babies alone and go and make a phone call, and then they quickly go over to the pool, edge of the pool and try to go in. So we did a couple of times there,
Yeah, you make sure you have to block those kids.
That's right.
That's terrific. Let's find out about your imposters, who they are and what they really do. Number 1, your name?
My name is Jan Brodin, and I'm a musician.
Terrific.
Thank you.
And number 3.
My name is Tommy Enneberg. I own a Porsche shop in La Crescenta.
Well, there was only one vote, Ron Masek. He got it right, which means the disqualifications count as 3 incorrect votes. Your team will receive $1,500. Thank you all for being here and coming on to tell the truth. We'll be back with a grandmother who took a ride to the end of the earth right after this. Stay with us.